I'm not saying physical violence is a response, but I'm saying that sometimes you trigger people, you bring out the beast in people by the things you say. Words of the mouth are very powerful. And when you say this, you can't take it back. That is just the truth. You can only apologize, but the harm has already been done. The harm has already been done. Words of the mouth are really, really powerful. You can create and you can destroy with your tongue. It is that powerful. So please be mindful of the things you say to people. Hello guys, so welcome to my channel. How are you all doing? Wow, it's been a long while. I've been here, about a week, and trust me, I needed this break. Last week was very stressful at work and I decided I need to rest. Sometimes it's just good for you to, just step back and try to get yourself together, and then you can, go back and, do your thing. So that was one of those times for me. I needed this rest. And anyway, it's good to be back. How are you guys doing? So if you're here for the first time, this is Idyllic ID. We try to solve problems pertaining to relationships. So here we have a lot of topics on relationships, so do well to check out my videos. I'm sure you're going to like one or two out of them. Thank you very much. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Before leaving, tap on that subscribe button and turn on your notification button so that whenever I post a video, you'll be the first to know. Thank you very much. So today we'll be discussing verbal abuse. This is a very serious topic, and it's serious because verbal abuse is not like physical abuse. Physical abuse, when somebody is abused physically, when there is physical violence, it is obvious, it can be seen, it can be appreciated. Somebody can look at you and know that something has happened. I've seen a lot of videos on the internet where somebody comes out to talk about his partner or her partner abusing, her or him, and then you will see the bruises all over the face and all that. Tell you, oh, my partner did this, my partner did that, and you see it. You can appreciate what the person is going through, you can substantiate it. But in the case of physical abuse, you don't see it. It's like a wounded spirit. You cannot cure it. I don't know how to put it. You can't go to a doctor and then they'll apply ointment and all that. So I think verbal abuse is just as bad as physical abuse. And I also want to say this, a lot of people that physically abuse their partner also engage in verbal abuse. But for today, I want to talk specifically on verbal abuse. So what is verbal abuse? Verbal abuse is an act of violence with speech, using your speech to attack, to criticize, to denounce, to bring down somebody else, to hurt the person. They do this. People that abuse people verbally do this with intent to hurt or to control the partner, whoever it is. So they target your insecurities, those things they know, because being in a relationship as a couple, they know the things that will hurt you. They know the things you're trying to deal with. So those are the things they target when they are trying to abuse you verbally, and it's always very, very painful. Now, some people mistake arguments for verbal abuse. Normally, there are people that when they are angry, they tend to shout, they tend to raise their voices. For me, I'm somebody that whenever I'm angry, I'm normally quiet, but not everybody's like me. A lot of people express their anger through shouting. That is not necessarily verbal abuse. Arguments can occur between couples. Somebody can decide to shout, the other can decide to be quiet. But when it targets your insecurity, when its aim is to bring you down, to hurt you, that is when it is verbal abuse. So there are signs you should look out for, because as I said earlier, people feel it's just by screaming. So it's not just by screaming. I want to give you different things to look out for, different forms of verbal abuse, so that if you're in this kind of situation, you will know that this is what you're passing through. Sometimes you don't even know, but you feel bad about what your partner is doing. So let's go straight to it. First is name calling. Name calling, this is very, very obvious. This is one of the most obvious form of verbal abuse, calling you names. And sometimes they do it in a subtle form. Sometimes they can shout and be aggressive. Someone can call you, "You're very stupid, you're a fool, you're an idiot, you're this, you're that." Okay, that is verbal abuse, but some can be very subtle. Let's take for example, you ask your partner something and the person will like tell you like, you don't understand this thing because you are dumb. Okay, telling you that you're dumb simply because you want more explanation is verbal abuse. So when there is name calling, call hippopotamus because you're fat, that is verbal abuse. Like I said earlier, it targets your insecurity. That thing they know very well that it will pain you. In my country here, the men love their mother so much. So much. A lot of men here love, in fact, not just in my country, everywhere. I don't think the percentage of people that hate their mother is very little. So imagine somebody telling your mother, you God will punish you and your mother. God will punish. That is a form of verbal abuse. You don't say that because you know that this is somebody somebody so dear to his heart. Or like having a disabled child. You know how it is to have a disabled child. You put in so much love and affection and somebody's abusing you with that your child. You know, that's like abusing your child's condition, you know. Like I said, it's targeted to hurt you. You know how you will feel if someone does that to you. So that is a form of verbal abuse. Second is condescension. So this person makes sarcastic and disdainful comments, you know, towards you. They say it in a way to make themselves feel superior. Okay, let me give you an example. Let's not be talking plenty English. Let me give you an example. Let me use the first example. You're asking your partner to explain something for you that you don't understand, and your partner says something like, okay, let me bring it down to your level so that even you can understand. Have you seen how subtle that statement is? That insult, the insult inside is like, let me bring it down to a level that even you can understand. The person is trying to tell you that you are dumb. Okay, so that is a form of verbal abuse. So another form of verbal abuse is criticism. Now don't get me wrong, criticism is not bad. Constructive criticism is not bad. When the person says harsh things, you know, and says it persistently in order to hurt you or even to affect your own self-esteem, that is verbal abuse. For example, you like doing this nonsense, that is why nobody likes you. You see what the person did there? That is why nobody likes you. That is a form of verbal abuse. How would you feel if somebody tells you that? Another form is degradation. So they want you to feel bad about yourself and they employ humiliation and shame. Remember this Tiwa Savage saga when she was divorcing her husband, and then the husband brought a picture, very old picture of her. She was looking so ugly. And he said, this was you when I met you. So this is one form of verbal abuse. Imagine somebody telling you, you're nothing without me, and after me you'll be nothing. Somebody telling you, who would want to, especially this one is very common with married women or women that want to, you know, divorce their husband. You know, they'll tell you after 2 children, who will marry you like that? Who is going to marry you the way you are? Look at you, you're so fat. If it's just me that is managing you. Who do you think will carry hippopotamus like you? Oh yeah, go now. Go, let us see. You will die old. That is verbal abuse. That is said with intent to hurt you, to chip away your self-esteem. So we also have manipulation. This one, they make you do something that you don't want to do. But they make you do it not by giving you a direct order, you know. They try to manipulate you into doing it, like telling you, if you don't do this thing, that means you don't love your mother. If you don't do this thing, it means you don't love me, you don't love your family. So they kind of guilt trip you into doing what you don't want to do. It's a manipulative tactic. That is verbal abuse. Another tactic or form they use is blame. They blame you for bringing the abuse on yourself. Like, for example, they say something like, I'm not always like this. You make me so mad. That is why I say these things. It is not you that is making them say these things, my sister. They are simply abusers. So don't get it twisted. This other form is very annoying. Withholding or isolation. So let's imagine you're with your friends. You guys are with your friends or family. Maybe you went to a birthday party. And then you do something he doesn't like. And then he just stands up and storms out in such a way that everybody knows that he's angry, and you'll be like, oh, don't worry, let me go and check what is happening to him. I don't just understand. And you start that he lives in a position where You start explaining yourself to those people. Try to, rationalize his action. That is very, very annoying. That is what some of these people, verbal abusers do. So that is a form of abuse, and it is not acceptable. Another form they use is circular arguments. So this one, imagine that you guys are always having this particular argument, and when this same occurrence happens again, they bring it up again, and you guys will argue. Okay, let's say for example you have to work late sometimes. Probably you're a banker. Bankers work late a lot. And then when you come back, he starts telling you, why are you coming back by this time? You say, but I am always working late. You start explaining what happened. Then the following day or some days later, you come back late again. And he said, why are you doing this? And you said, but you already know that this is what is happening. And then another day, you come back again. And he knows that this is something you cannot help. But he has to find a way to make arguments, make case about it. So every day you find yourself arguing over the same thing over and over again. That is a form of verbal abuse. Lastly, they use threats to frighten you into compliance. They say things like, this thing you're doing, however I react, don't blame me. So you already know that they are going to react some way or the other. So you stop whatever it is you are doing, even if it's something you wanted to do. That is a form of verbal abuse. So you can see, my friends, that it is not just about shouting, or you are mad, you're stupid, you're this, you're that. No. There are different forms of verbal abuse. Okay, they target your insecurity. I've seen a lot of men call their wife hippopotamus. Look at you. So I remember a story of a man saying that the wife gave birth to twins and her body is somehow and he cannot sleep with her again, and he was using that to throw jabs at her. I've heard a lot. Those stories are very, very common. So you can imagine a woman that just gave birth and is already insecure about her body, and then the man is now insulting her on that. Or say a man that is broke, and then the wife will be shouting, look at you, useless man, your mates are there, you're so useless, you cannot even bring money. Those things that they know can hurt you so much. That is what verbal abusers use, to throw jabs at you. So it's very easy for somebody to look down on your pain. But it is so, like I said, it's like somebody wounding your spirit. Nobody can see it. Nobody can appreciate what you're going through. You're the only one that knows how this thing is paining you. So it is a form of emotional abuse, and it is not okay. So what do? The fact is that an abuser intends to hurt you. So it is counterproductive for you to want to have any reasonable case with it, like going to meet the person and say, oh, please don't abuse me again. It's rubbish. It's not going to work. But what you can do is that you can set boundaries. Set boundaries. Tell the person, no, this is it. I'm not having it again. Okay? Stop going into arguments with this, your abuser. There's no need for to me, like I said earlier, I don't respond when I'm angry. So it's not okay for you to stay with somebody that abuses you. Like I always say, if you don't want to leave, you telling somebody to leave a relationship because of verbal abuse, I don't think it makes sense. It depends on individual differences or individual circumstances. So you will look at your own case and you will know what to do at the end. But during this period you're trying to decide what you're to do, stop going into argument with your abuser. When he says things, try and walk away. Don't listen and don't let it get to you. Since you know that this person is saying this thing with an intention to hurt you, it is better you try to condition your mind to not allow whatever he or she says to get to you. Look at it like he's just yapping. He's not making sense. That is how you should. That is the attitude you should have. Then you decide if you want to leave, you want to stay. That is up to you. You know what to do. You're a big girl. You're a big guy. Anyway, the purpose of this video is to let you know that it's not just about shouting. There are other subtle ways which I have just listed. That verbal abusers use. So you need to familiarize yourself with them. Watch this video and also don't forget to subscribe. As you're watching, be subscribing. Oh, okay guys, that is it for now on verbal abuse. It's not okay. And if you're the type that you're always running your mouth, any small thing you open your mouth, wow, and then you do these things, it's not okay. It is not okay for you to do that to someone you claim you love. So please, if you're guilty of this, stop it. Especially women. I'm sorry to say this, but Women are really, really guilty of this. A lot of women do this. A lot of women are guilty of this. And I'm not saying men are not also guilty, but believe me, women do it a lot, and it's not okay. It is not okay. And as I said, and I want to say this, that a lot of women, when you do these things and then you get a response, physical violence, everybody will hear what the man did. I'm not saying that physical violence is a response to verbal abuse. It is wrong. Don't abuse somebody physically. Don't even do it verbally or any other way. Okay? I'm not saying physical violence is a response, but I'm saying that sometimes you trigger people. You bring out the beast in people by the things you say. Words of the mouth are very powerful. And when you say this, you can't take it back. That is just the truth. You can only apologize, but the harm has already been done. The harm has already been done. So please be cautious of the way you use your mouth. Don't hurt people with the things you say. Words of the mouth are really, really powerful. You can create and you can destroy with your tongue. It is that powerful. So please be mindful of the things you say to people. It's not okay to hurt people verbally. Okay, let me not talk too much. Oh, that is all for today. If you have not subscribed, please do that right now. Tap on your subscribe button, and also remember to turn on your notification button so that when I post the next video, you'll be alerted. Also, give my video a thumbs up, and I will want to read all of your comments. So thank you guys once again. I will see you soon. But for now, bye bye.